Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, DeMarco. How you doing? And yes, I'm gonna always acknowledge you when you come in my shows. I don't care. I'm gonna give you your kudos. Okay. Hey, Tanya and Joshua and Gwen. Well, I tell you, my head is. It's so much going on right now. I can't even keep up with everything. I'm trying my best, but this is too much. So now we have Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, has been indicted. Now, Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is claiming that they are only coming after him, meaning the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, you know, and the goons, because he's been speaking out against the migrant situation. You know, New York got flooded with a lot of migrants. So he's saying this is the reason why he's been indicted. The way the Democrats been acting, showing their childish attitude, can't respect anybody's opinion, coming after anybody that says anything about Kamala Harris. I can possibly say Eric Adams is onto something. But what we gonna do? We're gonna look at MSNBC on what they said. Hold on, can y'all hear that? Is that better? Hmm. Hold on, everybody.
Not possibly want him out there talking to the.
Back with us is Chuck Rosenberg. Chuck, were you struck by anything that the mayor said during his comments?
Well, several things, Jose. First and foremost, his lawyers cannot possibly want him out there talking to the press, commenting on the evidence, explaining what he knows and what he doesn't know. taking responsibility for, being the main point of contact for all city agencies. You know who else is listening to his press conference, Jose? The prosecutors. And anything that Mr. Adams says publicly, anything he talks about, all of that could be used as evidence against him if there's ever a trial in this matter. So terrible idea for him to be doing that. Second, and Lisa Rubin alluded to this earlier, and I think she's right, there are almost always cooperators in this case. I don't know exactly who they are, and I don't know exactly what they said. That will be, that story will be told in the months to come. But a case like this is not built solely on documents, although documents will have an important role. Text messages and emails and cell phone data and financial transactions are always important to prosecutors. The witnesses are the ones who put the meat on the bones. And so you will have cooperators and you will have people who are able to flesh out the details of these transactions. And third, let me just mention one other thing, Jose. The Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, and I say this lovingly and somewhat enviously, is the best in the country. They don't charge a sitting mayor unless they got him. The indictment itself would have been fly-specced by numerous people in that office and by agents in the FBI New York's field office. There's no way a word makes its way into that indictment. There's no way an allegation makes its way into that indictment unless the U.S. attorney is confident that he can prove it in a court of law. And so while Mr. Adams is certainly presumed guilty, and while he is entitled to put the government to its test at trial, this indictment is not just serious, but it's extraordinarily well and carefully constructed.
And as we await, we're told about a minute and a half, that news conference from SDNY and what they will be bringing us a number of details. I want to bring back Frank Figliuzzi, former FBI Assistant Director for Counterintelligence and an MSNBC National Security Analyst. Frank, when Chuck talks about the construction of these processes, these, in this case, this 57-page indictment, what kind of construction does that mean? What does that mean?
So, look, both Chuck and Lisa have raised the specter of cooperators, and it's been long established within the corridors of the FBI that you make a successful public corruption case with two things, one or both of two things, cooperators and or wiretaps. So a paper trail is great. Phone records are great. The mayor was at this restaurant with this guy at this time, all great and necessary. But until you have cooperators who are in the room and or a wiretap and or an undercover agent, and again, we don't have any inkling that all those were present here, but it's highly likely that at least cooperators are involved. That's how you make a case. A couple of things jump out at me. First, people may be reading this indictment and saying, gosh, some of this activity occurred before the mayor was elected mayor. Is that possible to charge? Absolutely. I've seen cases like that. You can promise something. You can get knowingly paid to do something once you win. So that's there for sure. The other thing is the charges of soliciting the bribe, right? So it's really tough these days because the courts in the last 10 years have made it really harder to prosecute bribery cases against public officials. And in fact, the number of public corruption cases has dropped in the FBI and DOJ because of even a Supreme Court decision that said, hey, if you get a thank you gratuity after you do something, we don't want to criminalize that. So now, when you see these charges brought, it's not just receiving a thank you gratuity, it's soliciting that bribe. So the accusation is that the mayor solicited this for the purpose of carrying out an official act. That's gravely serious and will undermine any of his defense that I was a passive recipient of a bribe. And this business of foreign money into a campaign, again, it would not be charged unless they can show that the mayor knew that money was coming from a foreign country.
I need the perfect banana. Let's see.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I should have showed another video before that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this Jive Turkish mess. 'Cause that's what I'm calling it. You know, we had a phrase coming up called Jive Turkey. And so this is, he's being indicted for taking money from the country of Turkish. So this is what I should have been showing, and y'all got to bear with me. So we getting ready to have somebody explain the charges.
And later elected to be mayor of the entire city in 2021. An important thing to understand is that foreigners are not permitted to donate to candidates in the USA, which is really what this case is about. Adams is accused of accepting illegal campaign contributions from foreigners wanting favorable treatment. These contributions were allegedly funneled through straw donors, who were Americans, creating the illusion that they were donating their own money. There are also rules about how much any one wealthy person can donate, and New York City bans any contributions from corporations. And both of these rules were apparently circumvented by separate straw donor schemes. The thing about these straw donor schemes is that they only are worth the time and money of the donor if the candidate knows about them, or else the real donor loses the leverage over the politician when asking for special favors later. So the FBI needed to prove not only that these illegal campaign contributions happened, but that the mayor was aware of them. This scheme also cost the taxpayers of New York money, and here's how. New York City has a public fund to match the contributions from small dollar donors, giving less than $2,000. And Adams' mayoral campaign accepted $10 million in tax dollars through these matching programs. Now, the biggest hidden donor to the Adams campaign was a senior diplomat from the nation of Turkey, and I think it's safe to assume that this was done at the behest of the government of Turkey, who wanted special favors from the mayor. And it wasn't just campaign contributions. Adams is accused of accepting free travel on Turkish airlines to France, Sri Lanka, China, India, Hungary, and Turkey, as well as free rooms at opulent hotels, meals at high-end restaurants, and luxury entertainment. And then Adams allegedly faked his public disclosure paperwork to hide these free gifts. But why on earth was the government of Turkey spending so much time and money to romance the mayor of New York City? Here's why. According to the indictment, in September 2021, the Turkish diplomat told Mayor Adams that it was time for him to repay Turkey for the nation's generosity. They wanted the mayor to approve the opening of a new Turkish consulate building in New York City. That's kind of like an embassy. The building is a 36-story skyscraper that could not pass a fire inspection. The Turks wanted the approval in time for an imminent visit from the Turkish president. And according to the criminal charges, Mayor Adams knew where his bread was buttered and did what he was told by his Turkish paymasters. The mayor intervened, and a fire department official was told that he'd lose his job if he failed to play ball and pass this fire traps inspection, which he did. And that's kind of the heart of the case. Mayor Adams will have his day in court where the government will be forced to rise to its burden of proof, but my expectation is that that won't be difficult, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And yes, he's allowed to continue being mayor because an indictment is only an accusation, and the mayor is considered innocent until proven guilty in court. Mayor Adams may decide to resign to focus on his criminal defense, and there's probably a way that the city council can impeach and remove him from office, but neither of those things have happened yet. Politically, Adams is in the last year of his term as mayor, and under normal circumstances, he'd run for re-election in November 2025, but I'd be very surprised if that happens, given these pending charges. Like with the P. Diddy case, which is being prosecuted by the same U.S. Attorney's Office, this case probably won't go to trial until late 2025 or early 2026, and it won't be televised. And that's everything I know from reading the court file. Please share your thoughts in the comments, and if you could also share this post with interested friends and follow me for daily crime stories, I'd be more than happy to fly you to Turkey for some kebabs and baklava. Have a great day, and be cool.
Most people have no clue that in
Ooh,
2023,
Lord,
the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical product.
you can't make this stuff up. So when I say it's a hot Turkish mess, so the Turkish government wanted a new embassy built, but they couldn't pass the fire inspection. So they got in touch with Mayor Adams, I guess offered him money to get this thing built and make sure they pass the inspection. And, you know, allegedly, they gave him, you know, money, good hotel rooms. Uh, so, you know, a hot Turkish mess. Uh, of course, he is claiming not guilty. We're going to look at what he said.
Where Bill uses Chewy to keep Cash hard at work, toys to keep his instincts sharp, food so he won't snack on the inventory, even a new collar to let everyone know who's boss. And with Chewy's low prices, Bill's left with more cash to spend on cash. For low prices and fast shipping, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
God, this right for all black people in this city. The things that you have done are unconscionable. You hurt our schools. Our streets are dirty. Our children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can shush me all you want, but the people are with us. And this is not a black day. This is a justice day.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning, and I want to thank the supporters of all ethnic groups that I hear, particularly the men and women of the clergy that's here, that have joined me here today. And we are not surprised. We expected this. This is not surprising to us at all. The actions that have unfolded over the last 10 months. Yeah. The leaks, the commentary, the demonizing. This did not surprise us that we reached this day. And I ask New Yorkers to wait to hear our defense before making any judgments. In about 30 minutes, you're going to hear a story of the case that is in front of us. This story will come from the federal prosecutors. And I ask to wait and hear our side to this narrative. From here, my attorneys will take care of the case so I can take care of the city. My day-to-day will not change. I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do. Amen. And the 300,000 plus employees of our city government will continue to do their jobs, because this is what we do as New Yorkers. It's an insult to the hardworking people of the city that anyone would say that they won't do their jobs while this case proceeds in the background. They are dedicated public servants, and I have been one of them for many years. And they're going to continue to do their job, moving the city forward every day. It's an unfortunate day, and it's a painful day. But inside of all of that, it's a day when we will finally reveal why for 10 months I have gone through this. And I look forward to defending myself and defending the people of this city as I've done throughout my entire professional career. That's right.
I was like, put a pin in it, we're done. She's gonna make me be my fans.
Sorry, a commercial.
Always Discreet keeps me worry-free all set long by holding even my biggest gushes with up to 0 leaks, wet feel, and odor. So you're not just dry, you're laugh until you cry dry. Everyday protection for every level of leak. We've got you always.
Sorry about the ads.
The
Hey,
pigs
Jay.
must be flying because Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders are being compared to each
A Chewy order is on the way for
So what you have is Mayor Adams, Eric Adams, saying, he wants to have his day in court. I'm trying to find where he says that he's being indicted because he's complained about the immigration problem in New York. Seems like all the Democrats, boy, they coming under fire. What do y'all think? All of these Democrats that's running these major cities who happen to be black are now in hot water. You got Fannie Willis down there in Atlanta. You got this guy in New York. Oh boy, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Hey Tamika, I can't wait till this election is over with. I really can't. I can't wait until this election is over with.
We are not surprised. We expected this. This is not surprising to us at all. The actions that have unfolded over the last 10 months, the leaks, the commentary, the demonizing, this did not surprise us that we reached this day. From here, my attorneys will take care of the case so I can take care of the city. My day-to-day will not change. I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do. Amen.
Okay, do you see that right there? That says in a video statement on September 25th Adams insisted that he was targeted for standing up to the Harris Biden administration over migrant crisis.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target, and a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. If I'm charged, I know I am innocent. I will request an immediate trial so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief, I put the people of New York before party and politics.
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem.
Well, all I have to say is that this is a hot Turkish doggone mess. A hot Turkish doggone mess. He's not being indicted for stealing money from the taxpayers. He wasn't indicted for stealing the migrants' money, but he's indicted on taking money, bribes from the Turkish government. You can't make this stuff up. So do you think that they are coming after Mayor Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, because he's been complaining about the migrant situation, saying New York can't take any more migrants? Do you think this is why they chose to come after him? I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to come up, I'll leave the link up for a few minutes. If not, I will end the show. But my personal opinion, you can't say anything about Kamala Harris. You can't say anything about that administration. So I believe it can possibly be true that they came for this mayor for saying no more migrants. New York can't take it. Can't take it anymore. We can't take any more migrants. You know, I can somewhat believe that they did this for him speaking out, because you can't say nothing against Kamala Harris, the border. These people coming for you. You can't say Kamala Harris ain't black, and they coming for you. You can't say anything about Kamala Harris for her past record of locking up black and brown men of color more than she did Caucasian. You cannot talk about Kamala Harris and her truancy program that targeted blacks and minorities. These people will take your life. They will unalive you. They will slander you. So, hey, the way I'm looking at the way they got attacking people that say anything about Kamala Harris, I believe Mayor Eric Adams could be on to something. We all know politics, they all crooks. They all done took briberies. One hand washes another. Okay? We know this. We know this. The United Snakes of America is in a bad state right now. Everyone that lives in the United Snakes of America has been pushed to the limit with this election. People are fighting, arguing. Family and friends are falling apart over their opinions. Like, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this in my life. What happened to respecting people's opinions? And everybody, don't get it twisted. People have been coming to the United States of America for years. But Lord knows, and I know, we just had too many of these people to come over in the past couple of years. They've come over, they're getting great benefits, while the American people are struggling with high inflation. People can't afford to buy groceries or buy gas. And you want to come for this man for allegedly taking money from the Turkish government because he complained about the migrant situation, said no more, because they've taken over New York. They've taken the gangs. They got gangs. These people are ruthless. And some are probably good. But it was way too many migrants. Just too much. Too much money has been spent on them, and it's been too many. Wow. The American people are hit with inflation. The Democratic Party has welcomed these migrants and given them opportunities that American people will never have. You have veterans that are homeless. You have people that are working 2 and 3 jobs to buy food. We need to take care of home first, the United States of America, before we allow any more people to come over here. It's just been too many. Too many. We are taxpayers. Our money is going to finance these people, okay? Because you know, we are taxpayers. So, what I say to people is we need prayer for this country. I cannot wait until this election is over with. I cannot wait until America focuses on America. The inner cities, we have our own problems. Now we are taking on a migrant problem. They've come in to small cities, turning these cities upside down. Enough is enough. If Mayor Eric Adams took the bribe, he's not the first. He won't be the last. That's how politicians roll. Okay? You wash my hand, I rinse your hand off and then I dry it with some cash. This is how it goes, how it's been going. A Jive Turkish mess. A Jive Turkish mess. Well, I don't even care. He didn't steal money from the people of New York. There's no scandal saying he kept some of the migrants' money. And y'all done come up with this Jive Turkish mess. Every politician hands are dirty and have been washed with bribes and cleaned off with money. Unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. America right now needs a day of prayer. American people don't hate the migrants. I don't care if them people come over here. They've been coming over here. I'm 62 years old. I remember when Fidel Castro sent over the Cubans and said he was sending the worst Cubans. But we got to take care of the American citizens first. And this is a real bad time to have people flooding the United States of America. I need to know what is the hidden agenda, what's behind these migrants coming over here. See, in my opinion, the Democratic Party has started, and this is just my opinion, they've started all of this hate. They've shown that they are bullies. They got their gatekeepers coming after people. If you say anything about Kamala Harris, Lord have mercy. Father, forgive them, for they do not know any better. Or do they know better? I urge and I'm asking for people that's listening to this show now and some that will do the replay, go to your higher power, spirituality, whatever you believe in, whatever faith you have, and ask for peace. Because today, 9/27/2024, we had a hurricane that came through, wreaked havoc in Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina. We need to be focusing on those people whose homes have been destroyed and people have lost loved ones. So say a prayer for peace. Say a prayer for people that have been affected by Hurricane Helene. This is April Showers. I thank you for taking the time out. I'm dealing with a migraine, but of course the show must go on. I've had a not so good health day, but it's all right. I'm going to be okay. Say a prayer for peace, because you can't make this stuff up. Too much hate right now. So, everybody, y'all have a great night. And this is April Showers. Thank you for joining me for this show. Hey, Olinda. Thank you. This is April Showers. I'm out.